All right, let's shift focus to the big story that we are tracking. Rupee falling 16 paise to an all-time low of 82.33 against the US dollar in early trade. So Rupee hitting a fresh all-time low, 82.33 against the US dollar, breaching the 82 mark against the US dollar. Harsh joining us for more on this from Mumbai. Harsh, what's driving this free fall of the rupee?
Well, yes. Hi, Rohit. Couple of things which is driving the rupee lower, in fact, depreciating rupee is on the back of dollar appreciation. We've seen dollar go up. In fact, the dollar index has gone up back to those 112 plus levels. The dollar index has fallen below the 111 mark, and now with dollar index strength, rupee is obviously seeing a bit of weakness. The other piece that's really moving is the US 10-year bond yields. That's gone up to 3.8% again, and that will obviously add strength to the dollar, and that's probably what's contributing the strength even now. Lastly, we did see over the weekend that, or rather over Wednesday, that OPEC Plus has decided to reduce its production as well. And what that does is it drives up oil prices. Of course, India being a net importer of oil, that turns out to be adverse for the rupee as well as for India. Mind you, 25% of the current account deficit of India is largely contributed due to oil. So with oil prices going up, that risk increases quite substantially. And that's also what is really reflecting on the sentiment on the rupee.
Harsh, are the things going to get even worse before it sort of stabilizes, or what are the experts saying? Is it the situation is still very uncertain, very volatile?
Well, yes, Rohit, it will remain volatile. In fact, that's what most experts on ground believe, that things will remain volatile largely because of the manner in which oil prices are playing out, as well as the manner in which bond yields are playing out. So we are seeing a flip-flop in terms of the views of where the Federal Reserve as well as where most central banks will now start, whether they will continue to drive up rates or whether they will keep it stable for some time and then start driving it down. So really those two factors will really determine the movement of the rupee going forward. Let me give you an example. So if by chance the Federal Reserve continues to hike interest rates, then of course the rupee will continue to see weakness because there will continue to be flows coming out of India. But if the Federal Reserve chooses not to or stops raising rates, then that will mean that the rupee will see a bit more stability. So at the moment, the uncertainty is what's creating the fluctuation, and that uncertainty continues to stay.
All right, Harsh, thanks very much for joining us with that analysis on the rupee.